Hello, hello, everybody, every pony and undecided, and you're hearing from the horse's mouth. One of the most common complaints that I have seen among the fandom was the fact that Discord was pretending to be Grogar the whole time. I suppose maybe it's because of the fact that people were expecting to have an epic endgame version or an epic Lord of the Rings Battle of the Black Gate or such, which, to be fair, we did kind of got an endgame scenario in the end. But without Grogar in there, all the hype, all the headcanons for Season 9 on Grogar, even the characteristic of this supposed to be threatening legend of myths and lore, is what I called, and I agreed with it, wasted potential. But then as I thought back and did a little research upon this character, then a thought had suddenly struck me. What if Discord actually decided to pretend to be Grogar because he'd met the real Grogar and he wanted to pretty much make sure the villains weren't scared to death of the real Grogar if he had a more friendlier in a grumpy grandpa goat ram sort of way instead of a terrifying, intimidating villain which could have been born from the G1 version. So I decided that I'm actually going to show you my own headcanon dream of what I imagined Grogar to be like. This was a combination based upon what could have been, what was based on G1, my own headcanons, and a little bit of a fun idea that I'm throwing in for my little crossover called Dragon Age Ponish, which I know it'll be kind of a light spoiler for that end, but yeah, that's what headcanons are for all the time. So, when I first heard the word Grogar in the babysitting episode where Twilight was actually reading to the foals about the legend of Gusty the Great against Grogar, I had imagined with this epic battle where it's against a villain who sort of kind of reminded me of the Architect for a weird reason. Now, for those who don't know, the Architect was actually a villain from Dragon Age Awakening. And this character, like Grogar, was one that helped to reform to the Darkspawn and the monsters and wanted to find ways to make them even more powerful and more intelligent. Because basically, he was the very few of his kind that was actually capable of speech and understanding when the others, well, it's a little too hard and I try to keep it PG, so I'm going to leave a link of the Darkspawn link right in Gilhard would explain it better and it's PG-13, so yeah, I recommend that. Grogar wanted to create a different kind of monster, or two, or who knows how many, to be able to conquer the land, which, in my fic name, I may as well call it for horse puns, Manus. He pretty much distorted them in so many ways. He also has this very quiet and intimidating look to him where instead of the Grogar we got the loud and booming and the demand, we have this Grogar being a quiet form and wanting to get things in slowly, sort of drawing you in intimidation, like the Architect. I also mentioned this in my review that I also imagined Grogar to be taller and thinner, yet with his horns were sharper and long and have this sort of worn look to them. Not really muscular, but had this strong leniency. And I'm going to steal this from the G1 version. He actually never had any pupils or eye colors or anything like that. Accommodating with his long face is this mask with a blade on the side that would be able to help produce magic that would help be formed by the bell, which was created by a substance born of the earth that was known to draw magic even to the non-magical creatures like Grogar originally. That would be Cribium. That's the equestrian name version for Illyrium, for you Dragon Age fans. So with the combination of a bell made of Cribium, having the intelligence form, and developing a new power that even seemed to turn him from a little lamb from the beginning into a vicious beast of unspeakable magical powers, he wanted to expand his influence all over that of across the sea and beyond. Henceforth, then we get the tales of Gusty the Great, which that'll be for another point of view and for a headcanon, or you would soon read it in my crossover fanfiction, which again, I got so much I gotta write for the month of November for National Writers Month. So you could understand in characteristics, this almost sounded like a classic combination of Frollo or any other Disney villain. In fact, this could have worked. And then we would have had an epic battle with Grogar versus Twilight, like Gusty the Great versus Grogar back in the olden days. But nope, we gotten the Discord pretending to be Grogar. Which then begs the question. Based upon Dr. Wolf's own headcanon, he had a theory that Grogar actually created Discord. What if Discord remembered his master, Grogar, being so terrifying that he even didn't want to remember what he formerly looked like? So, in order to gain allies to try to make everything right for the battle for Twilight to prove not only to herself but all those around, he actually wanted to be more appealing. It's almost like kind of making Watership Down the movie a little more kid-friendlier version and then back to dark again. I see a cycle going on there. So yeah, I could see why Discord pretending to be Grogar in this particular version. It made me wonder, was he making fun of his formal creator or master? Or he just knew that having a very scary, intimidating ram that is known to develop great powers from a certain bell and that could be able to create and destroy, I could see why he wanted to go for a gruff and seeming harmless version. Even though, yeah, Discord, I imagine, was getting impatient with these guys at times. Makes me want to dive into his brain more often after that. So what do you all think? Could Grogar had had more potential? What do you all think? I am the Dark Horse of KC. Have a good, creative, and blessed day.